Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Tom Kelly. This is Clean Cut Audio, and in this week's 2-Minute Tuesday, I'm going to be showing a Pro Tools specific trick for how to listen back to your podcast at a faster rate. Now, while this video is specific to Pro Tools, I want you to take away from this that any DAW that you're on, there is typically a way to listen back at faster than 100% speed so we can get those edits done even quicker. All right, let's do it. Now, why would we want to listen back to our podcast at a faster speed? There's a couple of reasons. If you're just editing your own podcast, it can take a while. By listening back at a faster speed, you're getting through the edit a little bit quicker. That's a lot of time saved. And for those of us who are professionals, who are editing shows for clients, the faster you get the edit done, typically the higher hourly rate that we make. More money is rarely a bad thing. So if we can get through the edit a little bit faster while not sacrificing quality, that's really something to strive for. There's a couple of ways to listen back at a faster speed in Pro Tools. The one I'll be discussing today is called Shuttle Lock Speed. There's a couple caveats to it, and we'll get to that, but first let me show you how to get that set up. To engage Shuttle Lock Speed, we're going to need a keyboard that has the full numpad on it, which is the portion over here that kind of is laid out like a calculator. It's got to be the expanded keyboard, or else we're going to have to program separate hotkeys or program them into our trackball, which I've done and I will show later on. We're going to engage Shuttle Lock Speed by hitting Control and then the numbers 9 through 5 on the numpad. The only number that we really need to focus on, however, is Control 9. And 9 is going to be the custom number that you set for yourself. The other numbers are like 2, 3, 4, 500% speed, and we might want something in between. So we're going to learn how to set your own custom Shuttle Lock Speed. We're going to do that by going up into the toolbar here and hitting Setup, Preferences, and then we're going to tab over to Operation, which is the second tab from the left. And we have down here Custom Shuttle Lock Speed. Starting out 240 is probably going to be a little bit quick. When I started, I was at 130%. So we're going to hit OK. OK. Now we're going to hit Control 9 to engage Shuttle Lock Speed. We'll notice a couple of things.
Whether they vote or not, maybe not so critical.
All right, so the first thing that we noticed, it played the top track, but not the bottom track. So the first thing you need to know in Shuttle Lock Speed is that you need to drag both of these tracks in order to hear them both. So you need to select both of them and then hit Control 9.
Whether they vote or not, maybe not so critical.
Correct. That's the way I see it. But everyone has...
All right, so that's one thing to notice. You have to drag the tracks. The second thing, and this is kind of the most frustrating part about multiple speakers, is if you drag all of the tracks here...
Now that makes a lot of sense.
Shuttle Lock Speed only works on the top 2 tracks. I have yet to find out a way to get it to listen to a third track other than having the second track be a stereo, dump both tracks into stereo, then it's technically considered one, but then we lose a little bit of editing power. So what I do in these instances, if I'm listening back...
3 are going one direction, 5 are going the other. That doesn't work.
Yeah, now that makes a lot of sense.
What I'll have to do is quickly shift this track. Or actually what I'd probably do is, since we have these two coming up, I would shift this track all the way down. So now I have a long unimpeded time to listen to all this without having to switch back and forth. So I kind of just shimmy the tracks around so that I have the 2 upcoming ones at the top, because Shuttle Lock Speed is only going to listen to those top 2 tracks. Now, I tend to edit a little bit faster than 130, usually between 170. For some shows where they're great speakers or I'm super familiar with it, I can go over 200. But let's listen to this at 230, and let's notice something very important here. And this is one of the biggest tricks I've ever learned about Shuttle Lock Speed. So let's listen.
Second, you've got to understand, this is a role of governance, this is a role of compliance, but this is even more important than governance and compliance. It's really going from being a fiduciary obligation, delivering enhanced strategic value add.
All right, fiduciaries. Now, the problem with this is my cursor has moved off of the screen, and I don't know where it is. The reason that this is hard to manage is because now we have to maybe look up at this counter here. Okay, it stopped at 1511. I could scroll over and find where my cursor is, but there's a much faster way of doing this. I figured this out through digging through the Pro Tools hotkey, literature or whatever they have. If you very quickly hit the down and then left key on the D-pad, what it does is it centers your playback head where the cursor stopped, and then it'll shift your entire screen to center on the playback head. So to kind of, give an example, say I have my cursor, you can see this blinking line right here at 18 minutes and something. I'm going to go all the way over to 8 minutes. I don't want to have to scroll and hunt for it. So quickly down left, and it slams that cursor right to center screen. It makes it so much faster. It has saved me so much time. I hope this video has been helpful. Discovering Shuttle Lock Speed and all of these other key commands that go along with it has entirely revolutionized my workflow. I make so much more money an hour now by listening over 200% the speed, and then reducing any friction by using those hotkeys, the down, left, programming Control 9 to my trackball. Everything happens within finger reach of my keyboard. I'm not moving around. I'm not scrolling. I'm not hunting for keys. Everything is very close to me. It's all right there available, and I can rip through these edits at a 1.67 to 1 ratio is usually about where I fall. It's my goal. If I'm at a 2 to 1 ratio, meaning it takes me 2 hours to edit a 1 hour podcast, something is horribly wrong. The faster, I don't want to say faster, the more efficiently you can get through edits, the more money you stand to make. We don't want to move fast just for the sake of moving fast, because then you make mistakes, your accuracy can go down. We want to be efficient, because that is the only way we can make more money. We can shave off time and not reduce quality. I hope this has been helpful. Please let me know any other type of editing tricks you'd like to see, whether it's Pro Tools specific or DAW agnostic. I'd be happy to help in any way that I can. Thank you all for being here. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and please ring that bell so you don't miss a video. Lots of cool stuff coming up. I've been receiving a lot of emails. hello@cleancutaudio.com. Please feel free to suggest videos and topics for the future. I love making videos specifically for you. I made this video for my buddy Tanner. What's up, dude? How's it going all the way up in Maine? I would love to help people in any way that I can and learn myself in the process. Even after 10 years of audio production, I am still a student. I am still very self-conscious of my mixing abilities. I think this video that we're listening to right now sounds terrible because I'm always trying to chase perfection, knowing that perfection is subjective and can really never be attained. That's kind of what makes audio fun. Always chasing perfection, knowing we're always going to fall a little bit short. Always something to learn. We should be learning every day. And thank you all for being here, learning alongside of me. It is my pleasure. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. Bye.